Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. For those that don't know me, my name is Cassandra. So today is Mindful Monday, and I'm gonna be just talking with y'all about just being mindful in your everyday living. And today's topic is something that's been on me and been on my heart since yesterday. So I just wanna share that with you all, and I'm just gonna jump right on into it. So what's been on my heart is the topic of putting in the work. And I want to break this down to y'all. I wrote down a couple of things, but I feel like I need to just get on here and just try to express as best as I can, like what it is that's on my heart and how I'm trying to get it out to you all. But I want to talk to y'all about putting in the work necessarily, and in particular what it is and what that can feel like. So I wrote down these are some things that's gonna be personal. So of course I've said it once before, and you will hear me say it a lot often, but this is gonna look different for everyone. But I want you to really sit down and to just think about um when you get into these different areas of your life, what putting in the work looks like for you. And so the first thing I wrote down is personal and with our goals, and in particular goals with our lifestyle. So a lot of us at the beginning of the year, we write down like our new year resolutions and things that we want to get done for the year. And a lot of times these are things that, normally everybody wants to do, lose weight, save money, you know, buy this, checking off things off their vision boards. But I want you to go a little bit deeper and to just think about exactly what it is that your goals are and exactly why you're trying to reach them. I know I asked you to think about why you're doing a lot of things that you're doing, but it really does make a difference when you realize why you're engaging in the activities that you are. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up, because I was in the process of decluttering and organizing my little girl's bedroom yesterday, and I did a video, and I didn't feel like it was worthy of being posted. And it had me thinking about, like, I put in the work of just showing you just realistically the space that I was working in, what I did to that area. I took a before picture and after picture, and to me it was so much better as far as like my little girl getting ready in the morning. Like, I feel like it will really just be beneficial to us. But I also looked at it and I was like, man, the world may see this and may not say, like, hey, how is this such a big difference? But I know I put in the work, and I know what went on behind the scenes. And I know that the fruit that came from that is something that's going to be beneficial in my household. I put in that work. And we have to remember when we're watching other people's videos and when we're, doing something in our own lives, the work and the effort that we put into something is not the work that others put into something. And I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it to you. What you put into something and what God has for you is not what somebody else put into something, nor is it what God has for them. Their household, the energy that they put into something, you may not have that same energy. You may be depressed up on a scale of 0 to 10. Your depression may be a 3. Their depression may be a 6, but their energy may be a 9, but your energy is a 2. You hear what I'm saying? So we can't compare where we are because we're all in a mobile home. We're all trying to organize a closet. We all have access to a Dollar Tree. We all have access to a I don't know. You see a lot of things about Marshalls and Target, things of that nature. Yes, we all have some things in common, them similarities. We all are human, but we all are not made the same. We are not all made the same. And so what I put into something is going to be totally different than what another YouTuber put into something. But if I know that what I produced gave me the result, the goal that I was going for, then I accomplished it. Everybody won't always see what it is that you're like praising and glorifying. You get what I'm saying? And it's almost like when you hear a song on the radio and you will see people just praising God, or they'll just break out crying, and you're looking like, dang, like what they crying about, or you're looking like how did that song touch them like it did. That's something that they put work into. It's something that God's worked on them with, and it's touching them. You didn't get touched by it the same way. We're all listening to the same song. We were all in that same place, but it didn't affect you like it did the person next to you. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't, because we're all on different paths. And that takes me to another one that's on my list. It's my last one, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump to it. And it's with our personal goals and our personal goal. It's also with putting in the work when it comes to our faith. I'm assuming that a lot of the people that watch me on my channel believe in God, because I'm gonna talk about him a lot. And if you don't, you'll get to know him a little bit through me, because I'm just gonna talk about him because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do here on my channel and in my life. And he's done a lot of things. And I feel like sometimes we treat this relationship that we have with God like a storm cellar. And we only run to it when it's a storm, and we only run to it when we're scared and we need a place to go for protection. But we need to run to it, routinely, upkeep it. Make sure that we're putting in the work that we need to, not just running to it and being like, "Oh, I meant think about it." I'm just gonna just stay with me here. Stay with me here. So you got a storm shelter. It's down. It's placed for protection. You don't put anything into it. Okay, so when the storm comes, you're in there. What do you have as resources? What do you have in there to like get you through? Think about it. If you have a storm shelter and you say, I know I have a place to go, I know there is somebody that's over me, something over me that's protecting me. Let me go inside. So, what's inside? What's inside of there that is gonna sustain you? You have to put into the work into there. You have to think through, what is it that I need to bring to the table, Lord? What is it that I need to bring, to come into this? You know what I'm saying? And I just thought about it like that this morning, and I was like, Lord, let me bring more than to just say, I just want to run to my storm shelter when the storm comes. I just want to run and just feel like, that I just know it's just like I don't have to put in the work. We need to put in the work. God is there, y'all, but we need to put in the work. Whatever that looks like for you. Whatever, I'm not telling you what to do in your faith. I'm just saying, you sit with yourself and you say, God, what is it that I need to do to put into the to put what do I need to do to put in the work for our relationship like I do other things? When you want to get a raise at work, you put in the work. When you want to lose weight, you put in the work. When you want to grow that bank account, you put in the work. You know what I'm saying? So what is it that we need to do to put in that work with God? And that's something personal, and that's even speaking to myself. And I've been sitting in there and I'm like, God, I want you to use me this week and help me every day to just keep growing closer and closer to you, because I can't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable knowing my storm shelter out there. When the storm comes, I'm just going to run to it. That's good. You do need to know. You do need to know. Let me say that. You do need to know that when the storm comes, you can run to God. But you also need to know that when it's peaceful outside, when the sun is shining, you can also go to God. You know what I'm saying? You need to know that he's also there, not just because something bad is going on. Go to him when you're celebrating something. And I heard something on a sermon yesterday. It was, you will be surprised where God will show up if you just invite him. And that stuck with me, y'all. And I watched this sermon twice because it was just in me, and I was like, God, I want to watch it again. Did I miss something? I do that when I hear something and I just want to be filled with it, and I'll just keep listening, keep listening, keep listening. And I was like, man. And it was like, you will be surprised where God will show up if you just invite him. There's a lot of things that I invite God into. There are also some things, and I can speak for myself, that I feel like I don't know if I need to be inviting God in. Like, it's embarrassing, or it's shameful, or I feel like I'm falling short. That's when you need to be inviting God into it. That's where you need to be inviting God into it. If you're strolling on your phone and you find yourself becoming jealous when you see other people around you doing something, you feel like that you should have been in that spot in your life, invite God into that moment. Invite God into that moment. Don't wait until you cuss somebody out. They be like, "Good Lord, please just watch over me and just come down here and help come." No, ask God to come into that moment when you was feeling jealousy. If you can't be happy for your neighbor, if they got something, ask God, God, just come into my heart right now, because, I know I should be happy for my neighbors. I know I should be happy for my family members. But right now, I'm feeling some kind of way, God. I need you to step into this moment. Ask God to come into that moment with you. I don't know who need to hear, but I had to say that. And sometimes we were praying for other people. I was speaking to a loved one, and I was like, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for us. And I was like, but there's something that I want to say to you. And I don't know how you're going to take it. And I said, but the situation that we're in right now, you have to speak to God and you have to invite God into the situation, because I'm not physically where you are and I can't invite him into that space because I'm not there. And he was like, "Yeah, babe, you right." And I was like, "No, I want you to hear what I'm saying. Like, I can say, God, watch over this person. I love them. Watch over our relationship. I love them. But but I need, but you need to, not just me. That person needs to say, that person needs to invite God into that space because I'm physically not in that space, if that makes sense. So we all need to put into that work, not always looking over into the other yard and saying what that person doing, how they get to where they are, how they doing. Because yeah, we are falling short. It's midway through the year. We're halfway through the year, and there are some things that I've looked back and been like, dang Lord, this person did that, you know, in 2 years after graduation. This person did that, 4 years after graduation. Here it is, it's about 12 years after graduation. Like, we're all in these different phases, but I cannot compare myself to that person. And that's when I need to invite God into the situation. And that's what I would do. That's what I did. That's what you need to do. We all need to put in that work, whatever that looks like. I know a lot of time we think about putting in the work in our lifestyle, it's just about like our health. Being with God in that mental space, that is our health. Whether or not this is not really talked about, not as much as it should be. It's not aesthetically pleasing and, just brought all out, with the glitz and glams. But that relationship should be in the forefront of everything else. And I feel like that work that we're putting into that, even just starting with that mindset and saying, God, I want to invite you into this situation. Yes, I'm ashamed that I did X, Y, and Z, but I'm going to invite you into this situation because I know that you're going to love me regardless. You love me for me. Your love is not like him. You're not going to come into this situation, listen to me talk to you about the deepest and baddest things that I've done, my thoughts that I shouldn't even be thinking. You're not going to listen to that and then leave me when I end this prayer and then go out and tell Pam, Susie, John, Jack, and my whole office and my, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to spread over social media. This is a God that's sitting down with you. He loves you for you. He know you for you, and he's not going to leave you. He's not human. He's not here with another, what you call it, motive. He ain't here with a motive. He ain't here with a motive to be like, girl, tell me what's going on. Or bro, like, what's going on with you? And, taking it all in, and they're just feeding it so they can go run and talk about it. That's not what God does. That's not what God does. So we have to put that energy into that relationship. And that takes me to the third thing that I want to talk about. And it's about friendships. And this is something that I've struggled with over the years, being 31. And I can't really count on I can probably count on my hand if I had to call, like, name 5 friends. I could probably, off the top of my head, give you two. Give you two. And when I say friends, it's not what you think about. This is somebody you can partner with or somebody you can just go, no, this is somebody that if I want to talk to them about something, I know they're going to give me good, solid, I'm talking about in the word advice. If I talk to them about it, I'm not going to hear about it from anybody else. Not just somebody if I want to go grab a lunch. And if I want, I'm pretty sure they would. But this is what I'm coming to. These friendships that we're having, we have to put the work into them. This is something that I have not done. And I had to ask myself, why is that? How do I approach the friendship? A lot of times I already in my mind approach the friendship when I enter a new group. If I enter a new stage in my life, let me give you an example. I'll give you two. So when I left nursing, I stopped working for a year and I returned back to school. But when I returned back to school, I already had in my mind there's gonna be people in class. You're gonna make friends or associates. Let me say you're gonna make associates. You're gonna talk with your peers, and y'all are gonna spend a lot of time together. You're gonna be in class with each other for the next year. You're gonna be doing clinicals and whatnot. But I went into that relationship saying this is gonna be seasonal. This is gonna be seasonal. So I wouldn't go deep. I kept it superficial. I wouldn't go deep with anybody because I knew that period was gonna end. And there was a time during school when we were all talking toward the very end, and I've said, I believe, even throughout the class a couple of times, people ask me, like, why did one of the young ladies asked me, why did you say that? And I said, because it's true. I said a lot of times we grow up feeling like, and we've been told like this, we're supposed to just keep putting something into it, putting something into it, putting something into it. And you are supposed to put into a relationship. And I said, but I also know from experience that some relationships are seasonal. And I said, and I gave them an example. I said, it's now the second semester of school. And I said, how many of you all, it was a class, there was only like 6 of us in our surgical tech class. And I said, how many of y'all actually text or called somebody else in this class and asked them how they were doing over the Thanksgiving break? This was in January when I asked them that. I said, who called or text somebody in this class and just asked them how did they do over the Thanksgiving break? Who called, text, or said, hey, you want to get together over the Christmas break? We were out a little bit longer. Maybe you were busy and tied up for Thanksgiving. I said, how about just randomly on the weekend? I said, we are forced to be together because that's how our schedule is aligned. We are together Monday through Friday from 8 to 3:30. That's the relationship you build because that's them the people you are around. Those relationships really come to show you their truth and what they are when you are not forced to be together. And somebody asked, how was my break? And I had went through a little bit of depression. I believe it was during that Thanksgiving break. And she said, why you didn't say anything? And I said, also nobody asked. I said, see, our relationship that we have right now, it's because we feel like we have something in common. Because our class schedule is something that we have in common. I said, for this year, this is something that we have in common. And I'm not saying, because there are some people that go off to college and they build these bonds and these relationships with people, and those are beautiful. I really do believe those are beautiful. And if you can come across that and have friends like that in your life, that is a blessing. But there are also times when I feel like we run across people and we learn things from them, and it's seasonal. Yes, you can put in the work and you can try to keep up and stay in contact with people. But if you haven't put in the work, not just myself, even though I went into the relationship saying this is seasonal, you know, something will present itself to say, hey, I can go a little bit deeper with this person. I can go a little bit deeper with this person. You see what I'm saying? And we have to put in that work, and that's going to look different for everybody. Like I said, there are a lot of people that go off to college and they make their best friends. They meet their spouses. You know, they go off and they have long relationships up until, you know, when they're grown and their kids are grown. Their kids have kids. And I do believe that is a blessing, but I also believe there's a blessing in knowing when something is seasonal. But I also know that you have to put in the work regardless of what that relationship is. But that's going to be up to you. That's going to be up to me on how I move forward. And that's something that I'm inviting God into. It's scary saying, God, I need help with something. So, what you may feel like this is just so silly. It ain't too silly for God. You mean to tell me you feel like it's almost like this. I don't know if it was Steve Harvey I heard said it, but y'all, it stuck with me. And it was like, this is somebody that created the earth and us and everything. You know what I'm saying? In like 3 days. But you feel like you would be like, God, I want you to bless me to have this house and help me save up for it for a year. Help me save up for the next 10 years. You asking the same God that did something in like 3 days. You think it's going to take God 10 years to get you what you ask for? You just have to ask. I'm not saying every time you ask for something, God's going to give it to you, because that's my next thing with putting in the work. Sometimes you put in the work, you're going to be rejected. It's not saying that God's going to be like, no. God might just say not yet. Sometimes he might say no. That's not that. I don't know why. I don't know why he told you no. I don't know. I know it's gonna hurt sometimes when you ask for something, or you feel like, once again, putting in that work. You're gonna feel like, well, I've been putting in the work and doing what I'm supposed to. I'm putting in the work and doing what I'm supposed to. Yesterday, Pastor Steve said that it's almost like when your roommate gets engaged and she's a hellion, yet you over here, you know, virgin and pure, and you're single, and you're wondering like, why I'm putting in all the work and doing what I'm supposed to, but this person is doing X, Y, and Z. That's not, I can't explain that. I cannot explain that. But you don't know You don't know that. We just see that from the outside. You know what I'm saying? We just seeing what we see just looking at something. Salt and sugar look the same, y'all. We do not know until we taste it. And that's life. That's when God give you something and you go through it. So I feel like I need to start this week and just let y'all know that I'm putting in the work in different areas of my life, and I feel like you need to put in the work too. I know a lot of times I come on here and my stuff been more of like just getting your house together, but even things like that, just remind yourself, because that's how this video had once started. I was doing the video, like I said, just tying it back up to my little girl's room, and I felt like it wasn't worthy to be put up. I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it anyway. It's short, it's sweet, it's just straight to what it was, but I'm going to post it because that was something that I wanted done. I did it regardless of how it looked to somebody. I put in that work. My strength level on that day, my energy, my motivation was mine. That was from God. That wasn't from nobody else. That wasn't from anybody else. And I want you to remember, as you go throughout this week, you put in the work to have the life that you want. You put in the work to be happy because this is your life. I want you to be happy. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. And I can't worry about who's sitting on this side of me or on that side of me, who's in front of me or who's behind me. I cannot worry about that. I know who's standing right beside me right now. And I know that's enough. You have to put in the work. It's going to be scary sometimes. It's going to feel like, I'm just doing all this and that and I ain't getting nowhere. It's okay. It's all right, but you will. But you will. It may not make sense right now. And sometimes it ain't supposed to make sense right now. I find it funny. And I'm starting to realize, like, it's a lot of stuff I ain't supposed to know right now. It's a lot of stuff I ain't supposed to know because I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And that's okay. I've learned to accept that I've asked for something, it can be rejected. And sometimes it's because I'm just not ready. There were some things that I thought back through that I asked for 10 years ago. If God would have gave, I wasn't ready for it. There's some things that I'm thinking about now. Am I ready for it? God, I ain't ready for it. That's stuff I feel like, God, I feel like I'm there yet. He might be like, babe, but let's give you 2 more weeks. I don't know how much longer he got for a lot of stuff we're asking for. You know what I'm saying? But it's just to say, put in the work and have the life that you want to have. But please don't try to compare that to somebody else. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to bring it up. If it comes up in me, if I need to say it, I'm going to tell you again. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. If so, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Y'all, I hope y'all have a blessed week. I'll see y'all later on in the week with another video. And as always, be blessed, be sweet, and be you. And I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye, y'all.